Hey there, buddy. CFL Jim here with the Week 12 CFL recap coming at ya. Let's get into it, shall we? Game number one, we had the Saskatchewan Roughriders taking on the Toronto Argonauts, with the Argos winning this one 20-19. And I will start it off by saying I've seen a lot of arguments online about Rouge this, Rouge that. Is it good for the game? Is it good for the CFL? And I, CFL Jim, the premier number one CFL fan of the garage, am here to tell you the Rouge is amazing for the CFL. It's one of those fun, unique rules that gives just a splash of authenticity to the CFL that other leagues don't have. The NFL, UFL, IFL, they all have a lot of overlapping rules. They all have a lot of the same sort of stuff. ELF, X League, they all have a lot of the same stuff. But the CFL has a couple things that make it extremely unique that have been here since the dawn of time. And they should remain. For you Rough Riders fans who want to complain that it cost you the game, guess what? Don't get in that position. Don't have some of the worst late game decision making and just coaching and time management that I've seen in a game in a while. And this Riders defense, I don't know exactly what happened, kind of fell apart later in the game here. But the other big story, of course, is for the Toronto Argonauts. Chad Kelly, noted scumbag, back in the lineup. And we got a little bit of everything. We got some Shad Kelly, we got some Swag Kelly, and we got some Mad Kelly. It was a good splattering of Kelly, so to speak. But it was a back and forth game all throughout. But Trevor Harris, he's still coming back off this injury, not 100%. And it's just another loss for the West. It's not looking good for this West versus East crowd, if I'm telling you anything. Takeaways for each team going forward for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This is like your fifth loss in a row, boys. You got to get something together. You got to kind of feel yourselves a little bit. At this point, in a similar way, but not quite, they're in the same spot as the BC Lions, where they're just not in these games. It's last-minute losses. They're in them until they just throw it away. And they have to right the ship. We got to get something going on. This is a mid-season Riders slump like we've seen every year, it feels like, for the last 4 or 5 years. They'll find a way at the end of the season, but for now, you just have to weather the storm. For the Toronto Argonauts, you got your guy. You got your quarterback back in position. He's going to play well. You can trust him. You can kind of get behind him. They're going to look better with Chad Kelly leading this offense. I'm just laying it all out there for you people. I know you don't like him, but still, they're a much better team with him in than with him out. And I think they're going to be in a very nice position going forward. Game number 2, we had the Hamilton Tigercats taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, with the Bombers winning this one 26-23. What a game. Kind of a crazy game going in. Hamilton looked pretty darn good. It was a Tim White game. Shout out Tim White. You looked good. You weren't dropping balls in this one. You were making plays. You were doing good. And the Ticats looked good for a majority of the game, even defensively, because Zach Caloros, boy, this whole season, he's just been off, right? But the Bombers defense did enough to keep them in the game, and thank God for the Bombers that they have Sergio Castillo, because he's scoring all the points. Him, the defense, and special teams are putting the Bombers offense on their dang back. But Hamilton, I believe, still did enough to win this game, and they should go forward looking happy. But man, what a last drive for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That was mwah. That is, as bad as Caloros played at points in this game, that last drive is why he's still a legend in the CFL. Takeaways going forward for the Hamilton Tigercats. Treat this one, obviously it's not a win, but treat this one as a building block. You looked good in this one, and you know what? That's something I haven't been able to say about the Ticats in weeks. You looked good here, so use that going forward, build on this game, and do something with yourselves, okay? Make something of yourselves, Tigercats. For the Blue Bombers, you kind of got to fix what you're doing on offense a little bit. It's not leaving your team a lot of room for error. So you got to figure out the offense and kind of keep this momentum going. It's going to be a very fun time this next week, I tell you that. Game number 3, we had the Ottawa Redblacks hosting the BC Lions, with the Redblacks winning this one 34-27. And we're just going to, I got a new nickname to try out here for you. Nathan Rusty Rourke, because boy, he is kind of having some issues getting back into the CFL after spending the last few years trying out for all these NFL squads, and he's looking a little rough for wear. You can still see it every once in a while in his game that he's got the mentality, he has the skills to do a lot, but he also has some real boneheaded mistakes and just some wild inaccuracies every once in a while. It's not helping his team, especially when you have to eventually come to the decision whether you're going to play him or Vernon Adams, who for most of the season has looked like the best player in the league. It's going to be interesting times in BC. For Ottawa, though, the Red Blacks are for real. They are a real team, and watch out. They have a good offense. They have a great defense. They have fun special teams. The Red Blacks are for real. For the BC Lions, you still have to right the ship. You guys have been sliding like crazy. It's been on a downhill slump, but I believe they can come back and maybe reinvigorate themselves somehow. Maybe go on a getaway, go on a team like sauna trip where all the dudes just get naked and bond. That's always worked for me and my fellas. For the Ottawa Red Blacks, you're feeling yourselves, you're on top of the world. Keep this energy going. You got Masoli, you got Brown, you have a strong quarterback room, you have a good defense, you have playmakers. Keep this energy and vibe going in Ottawa, and a lot of great things are sure to come. Last game of the weekend, we had the Edmonton Elks taking on the Montreal Alouettes, with the Alouettes winning this one 21-17. This was some vintage Elks that we saw in this game. Looked great in the first half, especially the first quarter. Got up, got to a lead, but Montreal, once the second half started, and honestly parts of the second quarter, this team just changed. They morphed into something different. Fajardo, once he's 100%, this team is going to be right back to the top of the mountain. They're going to be playing at the top level. The defense is fantastic. The special teams is great. They have all the tools, and that is why they won this game. They just have it. The Alouettes have it. They have that it factor that the Elks, without Trey Ford, do not have. The Elks, as the game progressed, just started being sloppy, just couldn't do anything on offense, and then the defense just gets worn down, and the Alouettes come away with a nice win here. Don't cover the spread, but they get the win, which is a big factor for them. Good job, especially, you see the reasons why Cody Fajardo is the starter, is the guy here, because he just has those moments, those special moments that you can see that when he's 100%, once he's fully back in a few weeks, this team will be cooking again. The Elks, you're competitive with everyone. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the year. I'll say it now. You're still competitive against everyone. You got over the win hump. You just got to get back. You just got to keep winning. The streak ended, but that's not the end of your season. You guys still have a shot here. Edmonton is still alive, so keep playing like your lives depend on it, because games like this are, I'll tell you this, even when they lose, the Elks are at least entertaining and fun to watch. Going forward, for the Edmonton Elks, you're a good team. Just believe in yourself. Believe that you are a top team in this league, because I believe that you are. The run game has been awesome for the most part. The offense in general has just been great for most of the season. Now the defense is, it's improved in the last few weeks. So you're feeling that. You guys are a top team. Just play like it, and you'll win your games, dang it. For the Montreal Alouettes, get healthy. A lot of teams you could say get healthy, but the Alouettes, get healthy. I fully believe if Cody Fajardo is 100% and this team's operating 100%, they are the favorites for the Grey Cup for a dang reason. The Alouettes are your top darn team. That'll lead me into my audience question for the CFL this week. My question to you folks out there, buddy, is this year potentially one of the greatest years for parity in the CFL? Because aside from the top team and the bottom team, I don't know where to place just about anybody. So my question for you is, if you can remember, however far back, is this one of the best years for parity in the Canadian Football League? And that'll lead me now to my CFL Jim power rankings for the CFL that I have right here on my CFL notepad for you, the CFL viewer, the watchers of the great CFL, from my mouth that is spouting CFL nonsense into your CFL ears, the CFL power rankings. At number 9, I have the Hamilton Tigercats. Easy 9 still. They still are the bottom team. Even though they looked improved this week, still the bottom team. At number 8, though, what a slide for them. It's the BC Lions. Boy, this team has been on a rough go of it, haven't they? They just can't get anything working right now. Even getting in the legend, the Canadian of the Year in 2022, Nathan Rourke, is just not working out for them. Number 7, I have the Calgary Stampeders. Didn't play this week. Still the benchmark team. They're just kind of in the mix. In the mix, we'll call them. Jake Mayer, I see a lot of people clowning him, but he still has his good games. More often than not, though, he's been having his bad ones, and that's what puts Calgary here at the 7 spot. At number 6, it's the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Similar to BC, they're on a downward trend. They're on a slide. It's not looking good for the Roughriders, but I believe that is going to be remedied sometime in the near future. At number 5, I have the Toronto Argonauts. It's on the uptick for the Argos. With Chad Kelly in, they're going to be all right. They're going to be fine. They're going to be on the up and up, I believe. But for now, I have them at the 5 spot. At number 4, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. This defense is clicking. The special teams is on. We just need the offense to kind of fully catch up. And this team will also be cooking, I believe. At the number 3 spot, it's the Edmonton Elks. That's right. It's the Elks. This team is cooking right now. The defense has stepped up. The offense is firing. And even without Trey Ford, I believe this team has enough firepower and momentum behind them to make some things happen. At number 2, it's the Ottawa Redblacks, and I fully believe they belong here. They are for real. They are capital G good. Don't discount the Ottawa Redblacks. Believe in Ottawa. And at number 1, of course, it's the Montreal Alouettes. Like, come on. What are we doing here? It's the Alouettes. They have one loss the entire season. The defense is fantastic. The offense is great. Special teams out of this world. Like, come on. Come on, guys. And that'll do it for my Week 12 recap of the CFL. We have Labor Day Classics coming up, and I cannot be more excited for the games this weekend. So stay tuned. Look to the future. We're in the second half. We're on the stretch. We're coming up. We're going to have playoff predictions coming real soon. It's a great time to be a CFL fan. I'm CFL Jim. I'll see you next time for another round of CFL recap. Love you guys. See you next time.